So, just a quick video. I think I'm gonna make it quick, extremely quick. So I've got less than 10 minutes, and I love this tune. I'm just playing on the TV right now. Anyway, what I want to do is just really cover up on something. So, one of them is, how do you not know that one of the gods isn't already here? And if you were that particular god, would you reveal it? Probably not. Um, So, I think I found a way, I don't think it, I know it, that you can release DMT without actually dying, without actually doing any breath work, meditation, or anything like that. Sounds quite big headed, but yeah, it's very true. I will help you understand this process a little bit later, but I think there are some semantics happen when you die that cause this naturally, and therefore you don't need to do anything yourself. Yes, there is a small technique that you need to do, actually two techniques that you need to do, and once you've done it, you then release what I believe to be DMT, if that's based upon what you can see via DMT, a euphoric. But anyway, we'll see. You see a lot, but not with your eyes. You see so much, but not with your eyes. You see color, but not with your eyes. You see light, but not visual light, not from outside and not with your eyes. All of this is internal. Hard to explain it. So you could say it's the third eye activating, which if it is, then it's the pineal gland, which then makes a lot of sense. You don't need drugs, you don't need anything else like that, and you can do it all without meditation and find out what's behind reality. And another thing is the sperm starts off with a heavy atom, and that is the part of the development of this heavy atom starts not in mum, but it starts in dad. And you are developed in a nutsack, to be fair. And can you imagine if lots of individuals, your portal opens up in the beginning, okay? But not when you are born does this portal open up. Not when you're in the womb does this portal open up. No, it actually opens up as a sperm. It's already open then. And once this portal is open and you become combined with a sperm, and then you are combined with an egg, and then you incubate, that is in the development stage of welcome to human. But you are already welcomed as a human, as a sperm, not in the womb. And, I think that the portal opens up twice in your life. Once when you're born, and once when you die. This portal is merely a stepping stone, like a frog jumps on some lily pads to get across the pond because it's the quickest way, or to try and move away from danger. There's a different way, I guess. You can jump across the water quite nicely with the lily pads. This portal is much like a lily pad. You are at one side of a pond and you jump on the lily pad. Portal opens for you to jump on the lily pad. You stay on the lily pad in your human experience, and then you die and you jump back off of the lily pad and back onto the plane of existence of where you first originated from, whether it be source. You come from source, you jump, temporary experience here as a human, and then you jump off again. So the portal opens twice in your life. And the first time it opens is not at birth. Like I said, it's not in the womb. It starts a long time before then, like when you're as a sperm. So DNA technically is just a incubation process for you to clutch hold of and exist. You can't exist as a ghost. It's just impossible. So you need something to bind to, and therefore, you bind to the human experience, blah blah blah, or an animal experience, blah blah blah, or a plant experience, blah blah blah. Either way, the lily pad of whichever lily pad you've jumped onto determines which or what you become. So you can jump in, and if you've done a few times of being human, you might want to be a plant. Anyway, this is just one particular version I'm going to stretch out. There are two types of eternal life. I think there are actually three types of eternal life. The more I'm playing around with this, there could even be four, and it could be a spectrum. So there are lots of ways to create eternal life. Number one is do it here. Live here and stay here. If you love it that much, some people will stay here. And never know what's behind the door. But I think eventually, when you get to a certain time of being here eternally, which this eternal is very different. So let's say if we have an eternity number 1 is the human existence, okay? So humans come here and be human, that's one type, and then we stay here and then we figure out how to capture this, how to stop the portal from taking you back. And rather than that, you create a new portal that whips you into this reality. You stay here. Therefore, your soul is not stuck, it's just wedged in this void, which is just as good. The thing is that you have a default void, so that if you did manage to stay here for as long as you did and for as long as you were here, let's say if we discovered a way of capturing souls here and you've been here for millennia after millennia, you've had enough of it, you can choose to terminate that. Once you've terminated that, your portal will open, your original portal will open, and jump, off you go again. You'll come back. You'll go back to wherever it is you originated from in the beginning. Where that is, I do not know. That bit, I have no idea. Figure it out. Type down, think of it. Go well out. So one type of eternal life is that eternal life in which you came from. Source is eternal. Secondly, if you're here and you get in the human experience and humans get really advanced, you'll collect souls. Therefore, you'll stay in a soul captured device, let's say, if ET is not already doing this for you. And then you stay here. Again, it's a choice, though. You can terminate that at any time, and then you originate back into eternal, your original source energy eternally. If you stay here and you're able to capture a soul, and you're able to stay here within the cycles constantly, that is another form of eternal existence. Each one is good, and it all depends on which one you want to pick, really. But the default one, as far as I can tell, is the one before this one. So if we created eternity here, this would be it. The third one that I'm talking about is if you were able to come from source and come here, live eternally from source here as a human, and you can live eternally here, and then computer technology advances so much, you might then want to stay inside a computer or a simulation of whatever it is that has been created that captures your imagination, like a game console, and you might want to stay there. But all of these three different forms of your eternity must originate from the first eternal to go eternal within an eternal. Therefore, you start to create a multi-dimension within a dimension within a dimension within a dimension. This is very interesting the way it all happens. So let's say the universe becomes unstable and there's an instability, and let's say that it all ends some weird way. It will start back up again, but let's say it all ends because there was a beginning and there was an end, just like a book. And that was it. And there was no cycling done here. You would have to have a backup plan in order to get back. And that would be it, to safeguard you to always be able to get back to your source. Not to be stuck in this is a void. This is one type of eternity. There's another type of eternity being computer simulation. And as time goes on, it will happen to the point where rather than sitting down and playing a game, you'll be beamed into it. And if there was a choice that you could be there eternally, and if you wanted to pull the plug in that eternity, you then fall back to this eternity and wake back up in reality again and be like, whoa, how long was I out for? 465 million years? Okay, that's pretty long. And then you come back to this eternity. The same way as if you've had enough of this one, it's a quick end and you'll go back to source. Does it repeat again and you go on another plane in another part of this universe somewhere else? It's possible. It's possible you might come back as a dinosaur somewhere else on another planet, or some sort of giant slug that likes to eat algae all the time on a world that is damp rather than wet and has oceans. It doesn't have it, and perhaps it just has enough moisture to propagate and prop up algae for you to suckle all out on the planet and whatever. Who knows? Maybe you'll go on to do that and find it fun. So it doesn't matter too much about who your parents are. The DNA just supports, it's a framework that just supports your soul. So therefore your soul is being supported and propped up by your body. Your body is being supported and propped up by your planet. Your planet is being supported and propped up by the sun. The sun is being supported and propped up by the black hole. The black holes are being supported and propped up by the universe. Do you see how this all sort of sits together with itself? It's nothing more than a chain reaction of support, 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 support. And therefore we're being propped and propped and propped so that we can have and experience this existence that we all take for granted. So, there are 3 types of eternal life as far as I can figure it out. The third one is a bit sketchy because it's not there yet, but fast forward with the technology and the way it's going and give humans enough time, give any being out in the whole entire cosmos enough time. Enough time is all they need in order to create another framework that props up their existence. And if they figure out eternal life, which they have, and their understanding of computers are a little bit more so advanced than us, which they also have, is then a computer version of their reality within a reality within a reality. I mean, how far back do these bubbles keep popping? Who knows? Who knows? Whether you get to keep what you know only comes after, not before. So why that is a little bit confused with that one at the moment. I will get there and try and answer that one if I can, as to why we are born mute, if you like. And I don't know if we are actually all born mute or it's the process that needs to happen in order to bind you to your DNA. And it's only a temporary fixture. I mean, what would be more better for you? To live life now as you are forever and the body starts to dwindle down and you get really slow and old and different things like that? That's a little bit prisonable, that, isn't it? It's like a prison. That would be torturous and have all of these diseases and feel weak and frail and everything else. That would be very, very terrible existence. Or, at a price, you could reset yourself and come back again and again and again and again and again and again if you really wanted to. I guess a choice. Be yours. So I guess that's where I'm going with this one. I did touch upon this once before on a notepad, but I think a video touches it a little bit more. So kind of gets you where the thinking process is coming from. And I think when you sit down with this and you just go your own, take this video as like a little inspiration to fuel you up to go on your own journey with this information and just see where you come. See where you end up. See what position or mind play happens with you. And if that, you sort of start coming to these weird and same sort of conclusions, deja vu, anybody? And you never know, hey, what is around the corner. Now, secondly is, or fourthly, fifthly, either or, if you are born and you have different extraterrestrials here, they would ask you a question, I guess, that do you want to stay or do you want to go and be natural? Because some people are religious, some people want to go back to source, some people just do not appreciate life in a way that they just don't. It was a great experience, but just not for them. Now, whether it's the man-made issue, whether it's the animal-made issue, whether it's the nature-made issue, who knows? It might just not have been for you. And therefore, maybe that a question becomes posed to you. Do you want to stay and go on eternally here? Or do you want to leave? Once left, there's no coming back, unfortunately. Well, there is, but not anything that any capabilities could try and capture you back again, if you like. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to sit down and play with this one a little bit more. It's not exactly something that's new for me. This one has been quite old. And I'm just revisiting this type of mind play or rabbit hole, as some people would call it. I don't know. I love thinking, especially about all of this and where we all come from, where we all fit, how and where we're all going. But yeah, the first opening statement is, if there was one of the gods that came here, do you think that they would tell people or anyone here in this existence that they are? Or would they just leave it as a we'll see and I'll see you at the end? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Who knows? But anyway, gonna leave it here. It's been sweet sort of rabbit hole, this one, and I've enjoyed it. But yeah, there you go. Toodle pip.